A woman who always smiled at you is secretly in pain, because what she knows can ruin someone close to you. Archangel Michael says, there is a woman who never failed to greet you with warmth, but behind her soft smile is a storm she's been dying to contain. She carries a secret so sharp, it could tear apart the life of someone you hold dear. She's been warned not to reveal it, yet every day she's haunted by the choice of staying silent or setting the truth free. The truth is not hers alone to tell, it was entrusted to her in fear, buried under years of promises and shadows. She didn't ask for this burden, but now it lives inside her like a ticking clock. Every moment she smiles at you, a tear bleeds within her spirit. You think her kindness is gentle, pure, maybe even simple, but what she knows would send ripples of chaos through your bloodline. Her eyes avoid yours sometimes, not out of guilt, but out of fear for what she might say by accident. Because if the words ever slipped, you wouldn't just be hurt, someone close to you could be destroyed. This woman walks the edge of two worlds, one where everything remains calm and protected, and another where an entire name, family, or future could collapse. It's not her life she's afraid for, it's yours. That's why she chose silence, though the weight of it is eating her from within. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There was a time she nearly said it, nearly exposed the entire truth. Her lips trembled that day, but the arrival of someone unexpected made her retreat into her own fear again. Since then, she's rehearsed how she would tell you, but the danger in her mind always seems too great. Archangel Michael says, she is not your enemy, she's a protector hiding in plain sight. She keeps the secret not because she's weak, but because she knows how ruthless the consequences would be. But time is working against her, and the pain is surfacing in strange ways: tired eyes, trembling hands, sudden silence. She knows too much, and she has seen too much. What she knows happened before you ever suspected anything. But the person it's about, the one closest to you, has no idea that their darkest action is still being guarded. Type Amen to get blessing 444. There is a night coming soon where she will not be able to hide her pain anymore. Her voice will break, and if you are present, you will finally hear the tremble that reveals everything. What was once just a smile will become a silent cry. You may have noticed she no longer makes eye contact for long. That's not your imagination, it's the truth pulling her apart. She feels she's betraying you by not telling you, yet she's also protecting you by holding it back. She never imagined she'd be the one caught in the middle of something so devastating. The person close to you who caused this doesn't even know she knows. And if they find out, she could be in real danger, not just emotionally, but physically. The walls have ears, and lately, she feels like her shadow has changed, like someone is watching her too. Someone else suspects that she might be close to speaking out. And if she does, the entire chain will fall. Type Amen to get blessing 555. This isn't a small story. It's a trap that's been built for years. A trap of lies, greed, betrayal, and one terrible night that changed everything. And somehow, this woman with a smile became the unwilling guardian of that night. What she knows is not just about betrayal, it's about a hidden crime. A crime that was covered up with money, power, and manipulation. Someone close to you committed it, and she was there when they tried to erase it all. Her silence has protected more than one life. But the time is arriving when protection will no longer be possible. Things are already shifting. The past is waking up. Archangel Michael says, this message finds you not by accident. It's because something is cracking in the distance, and you are closer to the storm than you realize. You've been chosen to hear the first drops before the flood begins. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You'll begin to notice signs, a certain name mentioned more than once, a strange change in the atmosphere around you, people avoiding topics, stuttering when asked simple things. These are all clues that the curtain is shaking behind the scenes. This woman, let's call her the witness, is becoming restless. Her pain is starting to turn into resolve. She's beginning to choose courage over fear, and when she finally does, the secret will explode. But don't be surprised if she tries to warn you gently first. Her nature is not one of destruction. She will try to tell you with hints, tears, trembles, because she still wants to protect you from how bad the truth really is. Type Amen to get blessing 717. The secret involves a betrayal that goes back at least 6 years, maybe more. A deal was made in the dark that could put reputations, careers, and lives in jeopardy. But most of all, it involves someone you still trust. They acted as if they were helping you all these years. But it was never about helping you. It was about helping themselves and using you as a shield. And the woman who smiles? She was the only one who saw it for what it was. She tried to stop them, but they threatened her with something she couldn't risk. And that's when she made the worst decision of her life: to stay quiet. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Now that silence is choking her. Her health is being affected, her sleep invaded by nightmares. You may have even noticed her withdrawing from conversations, because the guilt is becoming louder than her fear. She remembers every detail: the voice, the location, the moment she knew something terrible had happened and that she'd never see life the same way again. But she also remembers your face, and that's what kept her from speaking. She's not a coward, but what she's carrying is heavier than most people can imagine. And every day that she doesn't speak, the danger grows. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The person close to you, the one being protected, has no idea how close the truth is to surfacing. They think it's buried forever. But spirits don't forget. And the past has a strange way of returning in the form of unexpected voices. Soon, the witness will receive a message, perhaps a letter, a phone call, or a face from the past. That message will push her to the edge. She will no longer be able to justify keeping you in the dark. There is a prophecy that when 3 signs appear, a broken glass, a mirror falling, and a silence too loud to ignore, the truth will crack open. And in that moment, she'll no longer smile. She will weep, and you will understand everything. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Archangel Michael says, prepare your heart, not for pain, but for awakening. What will be revealed will hurt, yes, but it will free you. You've been living under a layer of illusion, and soon, that illusion will vanish. The woman who smiles is not a liar, she is a prisoner of truth. She is begging inside for someone to see past her smile. And you, of all people, are beginning to see the tremor in her eyes. This story does not end in destruction. It ends in transformation. But for transformation to occur, something must shatter. And that moment is approaching faster than you know. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You may not see it yet, but the silence surrounding this woman is becoming dangerous. Her world is beginning to tremble as the pressure of the hidden truth increases. She's reaching her breaking point, and when she breaks, everything around you will begin to shift. She recently tried to speak to someone she trusted, but they shut her down. They warned her to let the past stay buried, and that warning chilled her deeper than anything else. That's when she realized, she's not the only one who knows. There are others, lurking in the background, watching her carefully. They want her to keep quiet, and they're using fear to control her every step. But what they don't realize is that her pain is turning into purpose. She's beginning to realize that your future depends on her voice. Her silence is keeping you in the dark, but she's almost ready to ignite the light. You will be shaken, but you will not be alone. Type Amen to get blessing 121. Her decision will cost her everything, maybe even the friendships she once held dear. But Archangel Michael says the truth has chosen her, and now it burns in her chest like fire. She's tired of pretending, tired of smiling while dying inside. There is a picture she's kept hidden, locked away since that day. The image contains a detail no one expected, a detail that, if exposed, proves guilt beyond any doubt. She's held on to it not for herself, but for the moment she believes you're ready. You're getting close to that moment now. Her energy changes when you re-near. You may feel it already. She's watching for a sign from you, a sign that you strong enough to hear what she's hidden for so long. And when that sign comes, she will finally hand it over. Not in anger, not in revenge, but in love. Because she knows what you don't. Your life was redirected by a lie. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The person closest to you, the one who holds your trust, fears the smile of this woman more than anything. Not because she's dangerous, but because her truth is pure. And pure truth, when released, destroys calculated illusions. They've tried to discredit her silently, spread whispers about her behavior, her mental state, her intentions. But it's all a distraction, because they know if she speaks, everything collapses. Archangel Michael says you're being guided toward the edge of revelation. Your feet are already moving, even if you don't know it. The days ahead will open your eyes wide. And when you finally see who's been playing both sides, your heart will break, but your strength will awaken. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You may begin to feel unexpected emotions when around certain people. That's your soul reacting to the energy of deceit. The closer the truth comes, the louder your instincts scream. She's not alone anymore either. A second woman is starting to understand what happened, a quiet friend of hers who also saw something that night. Together, they are forming an invisible bridge back to the truth. These two women were silenced for years, but their bond is unshakable. And now, their loyalty belongs to truth, not fear. They are done waiting. A moment will come where they both show up in your life unexpectedly. Don't be surprised when it happens, just listen. Because the moment they speak will be the moment your life splits into before and after. Type Amen to get blessing 888. One of them kept an old voice note on her phone. She didn't know why she never deleted it. But now, it's the only proof left of what was said that night. The voice in the recording belongs to someone you would never suspect. Calm, confident, deceptive. And it reveals the beginning of everything, the manipulation, the trap, the betrayal. She plays it back to herself some nights, wondering when the time will be right. That time is very near. And when you hear it, your world will tremble. Archangel Michael says the smile you've trusted is more than it seems. It is the disguise of strength. But soon, it will become the flame of revolution. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The pain she carries is not weakness. It is the evidence of how deeply she cares. She didn't run, didn't hide, didn't erase what happened. She stood in the middle of chaos and held the truth like a buried treasure. Every time she smiles at you, part of her wants to scream. But she knows you're not ready, until now. You've changed recently, even if you don't realize it. You've grown stronger, clearer, more intuitive. You've started to question things that once felt normal. That's how the spiritual world works. It prepares you before it exposes what's hidden. That's why she's watching you differently now. She knows the moment is coming. And when it does, she will finally breathe freely again. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. There's a reason you were brought into her life. And there's a reason she couldn't look away, even when it was easier to forget. Your connection is no coincidence. It's part of a much larger divine movement. This story isn't just about betrayal. It's about purpose. About how truth sleeps in silence until the right soul dares to awaken it. She believes that soul is you. You are the key that unlocks what has been caged for too long. But you must be ready to hear everything. Archangel Michael says the truth will not be gentle, but it will be the most powerful awakening you've ever known. Type Amen to get blessing 303. The person close to you, the one who's been acting strangely, they've already sensed something is off. They're starting to feel exposed. That's why they're getting nervous around you lately. They may accuse others, change topics quickly, or try to turn you against someone subtly. That's the behavior of someone hiding something. And their biggest fear is that the woman with the smile will finally speak. You may be tempted to defend the wrong person, because love can cloud vision. But soon, the evidence will be undeniable. When that moment comes, hold your peace and listen. Because your silence in that moment will let her voice rise. And her voice will reveal everything. Type Amen to get blessing 616. There will be papers. Proof. A location mentioned in passing that links back to everything. You'll hear a name, maybe in a dream, maybe through conversation, and something will click. You'll feel a strange shaking in your spirit. That's the divine signal that truth is landing. You won't need to argue, react, or defend. Just observe. Just allow. Just receive. Because the universe is preparing to clear away all false layers from your path. She held this secret not to trap you, but to free you, once you were strong enough to receive it. Type Amen to get blessing 9999. She may cry when it happens. Not out of sadness, but release. Because carrying this weight alone has damaged her health, her joy, and her soul. But your reaction will heal her. Your understanding will restore her. Your strength will complete what destiny began. This woman who smiled so softly at you through the storms? She is the reason your entire future will remain intact. She chose to protect you, at the cost of her own peace. And now, your time to see the truth and rise begins. Type Amen to get blessing 144. That woman never stopped watching over you, even in the quietest moments. When you laughed, she smiled with you. But her heart was trembling under the weight of the untold. Each happy moment you lived made her wonder if she was doing the right thing by hiding what she knew. Every celebration she witnessed felt like a lie, not because you didn't deserve it, but because she feared how temporary it might be if the truth ever erupted. The fear inside her wasn't for herself, it was always for you. She didn't want to destroy your faith in someone you love. Archangel Michael says her protection has been divine, even though her spirit was breaking down slowly. She made herself a shield. But every shield has its crack, and hers is beginning to show. She tried to protect both sides, but now, she must choose. And this time, her heart leans toward your healing, not their silence. Type Amen to get blessing 343. There's a document hidden inside her drawer, dated and signed, evidence that will stop any denier in their tracks. It's not hearsay. It's the kind of truth that destroys lies permanently. She didn't bring it forward because she wanted the right time, the right words, the right moment. That moment is arriving. And it won't be quiet. The document is connected to a decision made behind your back. A decision involving money, identity, and a forged agreement. And the person who benefited is someone you'd never suspect. Their guilt is hidden beneath years of smiles and gestures. But guilt has a way of surfacing when time aligns with justice. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. She wanted to come to you last winter. She even walked halfway to your home one evening. But she stopped when she remembered what the consequences might be. She turned back because fear still had her wrapped in its grip. But that grip is weakening now. And every breath she takes carries more courage than the last. Her hands tremble when she thinks about the confrontation. But she also knows, what's hidden must be revealed. Because your healing depends on what you hear next. Archangel Michael says this isn't just about pain. It's about freedom. Type Amen to get blessing 575. And when the freedom comes, it will come quickly, like lightning through a black sky. You'll feel the energy shift in your chest. You'll know deep inside that something heavy has been lifted from your path. It won't feel like relief at first. It might feel like betrayal. But betrayal is often the gate that leads us to realignment. Her decision will cause others to panic. They will scramble, deny, distort. But the truth has its own power. It cannot be drowned. She will stand calmly, finally, released from her burden. And you will stand stronger, finally connected to what was stolen. Type Amen to get blessing 9990. There are photographs too, hidden inside an envelope, wrapped with a note that simply says, "I didn't know who else to trust." These images contain a moment long buried, a memory captured by accident. But sometimes accidents become divine proof. The photos are not edited, not tampered, not fabricated. They show real faces, real expressions, real timelines. And one of those faces belongs to someone who swore innocence. That's why the woman with the smile never burned them. Because she knew someday, they'd be needed. That day is closing in. Archangel Michael says the exposure of the hidden will become your awakening. Type Amen to get blessing 404. There's one more piece. The voice message. It was left unintentionally by someone who thought the call had ended. But the last 32 seconds contain more truth than 1,000 words ever spoken aloud. That audio clip is like a sword waiting to cut through the lies. She listens to it on repeat sometimes, hoping she's wrong. But every time, the voice confirms what she's feared all along. You were manipulated. Not by a stranger, but by someone who wears the mask of love. And the woman who smiled at you knew the mask wasn't real. She stayed silent to keep you safe. But now she sees, your strength has matured. Type Amen to get blessing 181. When the truth drops, it will not beg for permission. It will walk in, fully clothed in clarity. It will call names, expose dates, reveal messages once hidden behind codes. She is ready now. Her tears are no longer fear, they are the final wash before the storm. And in her truth, your destiny will be restored. The person who caused all this, they've sensed something is coming. They may start speaking sweeter, offering gifts, reaching out, but sweetness is their disguise. And you're about to taste the bitter root beneath it. Type Amen to get blessing 7777. You may feel waves of emotion, anger, sadness, shock. Let them come. They are natural when deception shatters. You might want to isolate. But Archangel Michael says, do not close yourself off. The revelation is not a punishment. It's an invitation. An invitation to finally rebuild on solid truth. No more illusions. No more lies dressed as love. The smile that kept you warm during cold days now becomes the torch that lights your new path. Type Amen to get blessing 919. She may come to you trembling, holding a small object, maybe a key, maybe a letter. She'll place it in your hand with a look that says, I'm sorry I waited this long. You'll feel her pain as if it's your own. But don't be angry with her. She chose you over herself. She let herself suffer to protect your peace, your faith, your foundation. Now it's your time to protect her, by receiving her truth, even when it stings. Because in the end, the sting fades, but the freedom remains. Type Amen to get blessing 2020.